Today I'm really excited to show you a tutorial I made for making little tiny paper pumpkins. These are super cute, super easy to make, and I know you're going to love them because Thanksgiving is coming up. Halloween is literally tomorrow, actually. So let's get going. I do have a template which will be available for download. It's free, so just go to my website and you will find this template. This literally just trace that out on the crepe paper and cut it out. You'll need 3 of them. Cut them similar to how you do all of my paper flower templates. When you cut the template, make sure the lines are going vertical on the shape. The next one is this little piece, and there's that. I don't really ever follow a template for this. I just cut like a long rectangle, and then you'll see what I do with it later. And then this one, little leaf, you'll see where that comes into play. Let me show you. I got a little pumpkin over here that has the leaf. So it's super cute when you put the leaf on it. I don't do it on every pumpkin, but I do like to have it available, and you guys will have it available for you too. So when I cut the leaf, I usually just freehand cut that, but if you look at this template, it'll give you a really good idea at how big the leaf actually is on each one of these little pumpkins. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. I'm going to grab a tissue. I always keep a box of Kleenex next to my workstation because when I get started gluing these things, I don't like the tip of the glue gun to be dirty because then it just causes mess and little strings of glue. So here we go. Essentially what I do is end up gluing this end, the little pointy end, together on these little templates. So I start with one line, and then I glue that in just like that. And don't worry about like if you shifted it this way or that way or whatever. Try to make it about equivalent spacing, but essentially if it's like shifted a little bit that way or a little bit this way, it's not going to make a huge difference in the grand scheme of putting these together. So there's that. You'll line that one up next. The next bead of glue I always end up grabbing is going to be in the shape of a triangle. And then you literally just set that down. So it's glued together now. So that's going to be the pumpkin itself. That's not a great one here. That's going to be the pumpkin itself. Okay, so next step is going to be actually curling these little templates inward. You don't need a dramatic curl. I'm just using a little Cricut scraper. I actually think that Cricut made these to scrape their mats. I use them for actually lots of time. I use them for putting a little bend in petals or templates that I'm making for pumpkins or whatever. I just find it to be the perfect device that does not tear but gives you that easy turn. So now you have that. Before I go any further, you can look at these and see that those curves are really nice. It's kind of flat on the bottom, which means your pumpkin's going to sit nice and flat. You'll end up going up like this and gluing it. Now, I saved this pumpkin, not because I love it, because I did not curl these. I forgot to curl these before I glued them together, and you can see that the edges of this are a little bit bumpy. They're like a little misshapen, not really the perfect pumpkin that you'd really want to display. But again, if you don't want a perfect pumpkin and you want things to be a little bit more irregular, that's kind of cool too. I don't mind this one. It was the first pumpkin I ever did. I think it looks cute. It's just I like them to have that more smooth edge on it. So I'm going to just set that right there and we'll keep going. So next step, put teeny tiny dot of glue. Grab next to it and go like that. Okay, and then the next one is going to be another teeny tiny dot of glue, and then glue it together, and then hold them for just a quick second. It's not going to take long, but you do want to hold them so they don't come apart. Okay, so now you have this. You can kind of see how your pumpkin's going to end up looking. nice smooth edges, but you got all these wide open spaces. It essentially doesn't really look like a pumpkin yet. The great thing about crepe paper is that it pulls out real easily. Okay. They always require a little adjusting. Sometimes I put a little bend, as you see I just did. Essentially gives it a solid base for it to sit on. You see how there's like large holes here? You can pull crepe paper pretty much. You can mold it any way you really want to and still have this perfect looking cute pumpkin that everyone, all your family will love these, and they'll be actually really great for little table runners at the Thanksgiving table. How cute is that? A really cute idea would be to put a little tea light inside of here. Not like a flame one because you'll burn your pumpkin, but a battery operated one, and put it in here and let it run throughout the night during Thanksgiving dinner. Super adorable. Which is great, and these are great for that because you can essentially just pull this open and set the little battery operated light in there. Okay, so nice and flat. Takes a little bit of putzing in this part just to make sure it's sitting how you want it to sit. It looks like a little pumpkin. I think it's looking really cute. Alright, so the next part is actually the stem. So this is all just crepe paper. The stem is a lighter weight crepe paper. I'm just stretching this full stretch. Like, don't hold back, stretch it all the way across the entire rectangle. You can use, I mentioned this is a lighter weight crepe paper. You can use a heavier weight. It doesn't really matter for the stem, but I don't know, doing this part I just think works nice for the lighter weight crepe paper. And then, see, I just rolled it up like that. And then I put a little dot of glue, or almost like a little thin line of glue right there. And I just rolled it up. Okay, so now it looks really simple, right? You don't really want it to be that straight and imperfect, and perfect, I should say. I didn't cut this perfectly straight, so I'm just going to correct it with a little dot of glue and hold it together. So, there you have it. Next, I twist it. It gives it that nice vine sort of look. It gives it an inconsistency. You can see it's starting to bend. Some of them I bend, or I twist so much that it gets like a little ring in it, like a little ringlet. And I just keep molding it until it really is what I want it to be. Okay. Now, how do I get it to look like this? If you noticed when I applied the glue, only applied it to this part. This is not going to come undone. This is not going to magically come unwrapped after you glue it on, but don't glue the bottom part. Because you will want, and I didn't twist this bottom part heavily like I did the top either. So you can see there's still loose. I don't know if you can see that. It's still kind of loose right here. I undo it a little bit. And this is, again, no perfect way. I unwound mine a little bit. It's okay if it tears a little bit. It's okay. Whatever happens, it's fine. You just want to be able to make a flat surface that you can put glue on. So I'm going to just work on getting this undone. When I'm ready, I'll let you know. Okay, so it's pretty flat, pretty round. See that? Doesn't that look like a cute little stem? Okay, so now that you have your flat little piece, I literally just put a huge dot of glue in there. I put my finger inside the pumpkin and press down right at the center. Can't tell me that's not super adorable. Don't worry about these big openings. It's going to look great when you have your Thanksgiving dinner and you have little battery operated tea lights in there. It's going to be adorable. Alright, last step. I do not do this on every pumpkin. Not every pumpkin has a perfectly shaped leaf. So took the little leaf template. It's really important that you have this little stem at the end of it because you're going to wrap it around the stem of the pumpkin to secure it. So, twisted the leaf with the Cricut scraper. Now I don't pull this one all the way because it gets really big and it's almost too blow-y when you do that. So, that is the cutest little leaf I think I've ever made. Look at that. So essentially when you stretch this, it creates like a little cup. Imagine if this was a real leaf, you'd actually be able to like scoop up a little bit of water and hold it in there. It's like a little soup ladle. Okay, so moving on to actually creating this. Put a little dot on the very end of your leaf. And then I just stick it on there. And I'm going to show you what this looks like because the next step is pretty critical to getting the leaf to look natural. Look at the leaf. Do you see how it's kind of sticking out in like unrealistic looking way? These are obviously fake pumpkins. No one's going to look at them and be like, oh, you got a real paper pumpkin sitting on your table. But you do want it to look realistic. Like they kind of grew together and they have this perfectly imperfect appearance to them. So wrap your leaf up around the stem. Doesn't have to be wrapped all the way. I think that looks good. I don't do it the same every time. See that? And then I just slightly unwrap, put a dot of glue in, and then wrap it back to where I wanted it. And that's it. I hold it. And there you are. That is your crepe paper pumpkin. Can't tell me that's not adorable. Quick note, see this little piece coming up right here? Just go back. If you don't like that, put a little dot of glue there and hold it down. Now you've got the most adorable little pumpkin. This would be great on top of mantles, above the fireplace, on shelving, on your dining room table, on your island. I imagine this is where I will put it, is on my island, or on your Thanksgiving table. And I think that's a wonderful idea. I love it. You could actually put these in wreaths too. Very cute little detail for those. There you are. Super adorable. And then here's another fall color. They kind of look like baby gourds. They look very cute together. All right, thanks. Bye.